Hi, it's the fourth night of Hanukkah, and you know what that means. I have to talk about the Maccabees now. The story of the Maccabees is actually really interesting because there's technically three versions that you'll hear over the course of your life. Let's start with the children's version. Basically, a long time ago, in roughly the 100 and something BC. Look, if you wanted a historical documentary, again, watch the Rugrats. No, seriously, watch the Rugrats. Like, they do Jewish holiday specials really, really well. Like, it's weird, like, how good they are. Like, I'm gonna complain later about the fact that we really only have, like, 8 Crazy Nights. It's, like, the only Hanukkah movie, but, you know, there's a billion terrible Hallmark Christmas movies. Hold on, so hold on, here's an aside. So there's 2 movies called Sister Swap, that came out this year, and they're literally the same movie, but, like, with different edits, like, different cuts of the same movie, and they have different subtitles, and they don't reference this fact, like, in the movies. Like, it's weird. And I guess, like, Dan Harmon was, like, freaking out about it on the Tumblr, because apparently he has, like, a Tumblr, and that's the only reason I know about this. Because, you know, it's funny to make fun of Dan Harmon for reasons. Anyway, that's not important to this. What's important is I would love a decent Hanukkah movie. Or at least a crappy Hallmark one. I will take a crappy Hallmark one. Hallmark, what up? It's your boy. Please make a crappy Hanukkah movie. I beg you. Literally any movie that isn't starring Adam Sandler. Anyway, the Maccabees. In about vaguely 150 BC, there was this dude. His name was Alex. He was fine. Some would even call him great. Anyway, he died. And then there was this other dude. And Antiochus? Antiochus? Hold on. Antiochus Epiphanes. Anyway, Greece invaded Israel for reasons. And then, you know, the Maccabees were there. And they rose up and formed a rebellion. And they had only 1 night of oil. They made it last for 8 nights through the invasion. And then we won, and it was a miracle. Hooray! And then we light 8 nights worth of candles. So that way we can celebrate the miracle of 1 night of oil, lasting for 8 nights. Isn't that touching? It's wrong, but it's touching. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is that wrong? Oh boy. So the story told as an adult basically goes like this. There was a dude named Alex. He was pretty great. But then he died. Not great. So Antiochus Epiphanes, it's like, hey, I see you, got a cool temple there. And it's got some money. That's my money now. And we're like, not so. And he's like, alright. I also noticed that your god says not to worship any of the other Greek gods. They're state-approved gods. You gotta worship them, or we're gonna blow you all up. And again, if this becomes a series, you're about to notice a pattern forming. So he decided to invade, to, deal with all of these people who were worshipping the entire Greek pantheon. With violence. But then, the Maccabees rose up and formed a rebellion and, well, won. And that's a miracle, and now we celebrate that. For 8 nights. Because that's how long they lasted. The historical version is a little less rosy. Everything up to this point has been accurate, but there's a lot of other things in play here. Such as the fact that the Maccabees didn't really start as leaders of anything. They led the rebellion so they could become the high priests of the temple that they were defending, which is a very strong political position at that time. Also, we did, in fact, fend off the invaders. However, the main reason Hanukkah has become such an important holiday is this was kind of the last time we fended off invaders. For those of you who pay attention to history, you may know that Israel didn't exist for a little while. a lot of a while. So yes, we did fend off the invaders from Greece who were looting our temples and wanted us to worship their gods. And we did successfully do that, but only for 50 years did we continue to hold the country of Israel. And then some other stuff happened, which is far beyond the scope of this video. I could go into a lot more detail on a lot of this, but this is kind of an introductory series. There are other people who are much better at explaining history than I am, and this is more of a edutainment kind of thing than a educational kind of thing. I can link something in the doobly-doo, at least the Wikipedia article. I'll see if I can find a good video. And that's it. I know this was a little less of a fun topic, but that's okay, because tomorrow we'll talk about not just the Maccabees. We'll talk about the Maccabees. Those beats are fine.
Na